Alright, hello there. I hate that I have to be doing this video on Christmas, given the fact that Pine Power LI had to call out News 12 Long Island last night on Christmas Eve, but now it is definitely my turn to call out Spectrum News. NY1 just ignoring us as usual, no surprise. And that's why you see the thumbnail as Pat Kiernan for the Grinch, because it just seems that Pat Kiernan and all of his other friends at NY1 are just laughing at us secretly. You know, this TV station time and time again just shows their true colors, and you know how we just get sick and tired of it by now. It's clearly obvious, and you know, whenever there's a big story in Queens, we just seem to be getting ignored, and we're just tired of it. All right, we deserve better treatment from Spectrum. We really do, but it seems that, you know, sorry, you're Step 9 and 2.0, so you're really better. That's what it's become. It's like, I feel like I'm living in the next forgotten borough of the city of New York. That's the way things just seem on Christmas. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the way it looks. And there was a bicyclist who was ran over in the Upper East Side, and you would think Spectrum would actually have a story about it since it serves their demographic in the Upper East Side. Nope, nothing about it even, which is very surprising. You even go to the Manhattan headlines. I mean, look at this. They haven't updated their page in 3 days. So they're busy probably drinking the holiday Kool-Aid. You know, they're just enjoying. They think they're having a happy Christmas. Well, some people are having a miserable Christmas. And let's go to our example right now. So look at this. This family who lost a family member because a bicyclist and a pedestrian were both struck and killed by a box truck on the Upper East Side. You tell me how someone's having a happy Christmas. You tell me that. So let's read this. In fact, CBS 2 even had a video. In fact, we're going to find it in a bit. No charges have been filed against the box truck driver who fatally struck a bicyclist and pedestrian on the Upper East Side on Christmas Eve. Police say the deadly collision happened at about 9:20 a.m. on December 24th at the corner of East 63rd Street and 3rd Avenue. So yes, I know exactly where this area is, not too far from where Bloomingdale's is. According to information the police obtained, the 66-year-old male box truck driver began moving his vehicle suddenly just as the 32-year-old male passenger entered. Authorities say the box truck mounted the sidewalk and struck a fire hydrant before hitting Torino Rosendo Morales, age 37, at St. Nicholas Avenue in Harlem, as he rode his bike through the intersection. The driver then struck 46-year-old Delfino Eduardo Medina of 42nd Avenue in Corona, Queens, as he stood on the sidewalk. The good news is the driver did stop his truck after striking the two people, so this will not be a hit-and-run incident, thank goodness. Officers from the 19th Precinct and EMS responded to the scene. Both Medina and Morales were taken to Weill Cornell Medical Center, where they were pronounced dead a short time later. The 32-year-old box truck passenger suffered minor injuries and was also treated at Weill Cornell. Alright, so we're looking into more details from the Highway Collision Squad. They're going to have to figure out where to go from here, but I mean, this is an awful accident the NY1 should have covered, and you know, you think they would. No, they don't even cover it. They don't even have anything about it on their website. So if you go on Google and take a look at Upper East Side, so I'm pretty sure there was a CBS New York article about it somewhere. Let's see. Let's just type in CBS New York. There we go. Yeah, if you look for it, you should be able to find it. Okay, that's not it. No. Well, it was somewhere. See if we can find it. I am so sorry. Here we go. Let's just watch Channel 7. Let's see how they spent. Let's see.
This morning, a tragic story developing on the Upper East Side. 2 pedestrians hit and killed while crossing the street. We're told the driver of a truck was making a...
Well, Mike, I can tell you that
61st Street between Channel 7 even sent a reporter.
You can see it right here. This is where that crash happened. It's
on Christmas Eve. I will give Channel 7 credit when credit is due. I will give them credit. I will give them a lot of credit. A lot of credit. Okay, the bad news is CBS New York didn't spend that much time on it. Yeah. Channel 7 spent a lot of time covering it. Almost a minute and a half. I'll give them credit on that. Okay, next story. Queens shooting outside restaurant leaves off-duty school safety agent dead. 2 others injured. Cops are looking for the suspect behind a Queens shooting early Thursday morning that left a 27-year-old school safety agent dead and 2 other victims seriously injured. And obviously, I know NY1 didn't cover this because they didn't obviously bring it up on the air. They were spending too much time talking about coronavirus. Law enforcement sources said the bullets rang out at about 4:08 a.m. on the morning of December 23rd, which was Thursday, outside the Soleto restaurant at 23-66 Steinway Street in Astoria. According to Deputy Chief Julie Morrell, commanding officer of Queens North Detective Bureau, Mai Johnson was with 2 friends who was also the same age at the club celebrating their birthdays. Amongst a large group of friends when the dispute broke out, multiple persons fired shots and 3 victims were struck. Officers from the 114th Precinct responding to a 911 call about the gunfire found Johnson with multiple gunshot wounds to her torso and leg. EMS rushed her to nearby Mount Sinai Queens Hospital, where she passed away a short time later. Meanwhile, her 2 friends, another 27-year-old woman shot in the left knee, and a 27-year-old man was wounded in the buttocks and left shoulder, were brought to Elmhurst Hospital in stable condition. Initial reports had incorrectly indicated the 27-year-old woman was Johnson's sister. So, no arrest, ongoing investigation, so. Obviously, if you look in community and neighborhoods, let's see if anything is here. Okay, they did have an article. But obviously, very brief details. I mean, look at this. Look how unprofessional NY1 is. It's like AM New York updates their story. It's like, again, we're just forgotten. We don't matter. So let's just look up this address. Oh yeah, I know exactly where this is. Not too far from where the Astoria Boulevard subway station is. See? Do a quick draw right here. That's I thought I had my draw thingy. See if I can get it back on. There's a way I can get it back. Here we go, web paint. That's more like it. Yeah, so I'll show you how not too far from it is, see? Yep. Not too far right there, see? See, I knew I could get it back. Just wondering, where was my web paint extension and I lost it. So that's what's going on pretty much. And then we got all these other stories that are just getting ignored. in Queens as usual. One man killed, another wounded in LaFranc City shooting. So not too far from Queens Center Mall. Police from the 110th Precinct in Elmhurst are on the lookout for a gunman who opened fire on the northern edge of LaFranc City last week, killing one man and wounding another. The shooting occurred just after 8:30 p.m. on December 15th when officers responded to a 911 call of two men shot at 97th Street and 57th Avenue. And found a 27-year-old victim who was shot in the right shoulder and buttocks and a 37-year-old who was shot in both thighs. EMS responded to the scene and transported both victims to Elmhurst Hospital, where the 27-year-old victim, Jordan Gillum of 34th Avenue, was pronounced dead a week later on December 22nd. Police added a second victim remained in stable condition. Police could not confirm if the two shooting victims knew each other. A spokesperson said there have been no arrests and the investigation is ongoing. Okay. So hang on here. I just lost the Queens Courier. Let me pull it back up. There we go. Knew I would find it. Corona man busted for attacking a woman in a Forest Hills elevator. Oh, there's an update to the story I gave regarding that incident last week. Ralph Toro, 62, who lives on Horace Harding Expressway near 113th Street, was charged with robbery and sexual assault for allegedly attacking a 51-year-old woman on Friday, December 17th. So finally, the police actually do some good for once. The victim entered an elevator in her building near 67th Drive and 108th Street when Toro allegedly entered a car and pulled a knife. The woman then emptied the contents of her bag onto the floor. Toro was accused of searching the woman's body for additional property and then pulling down her pants and sexually assaulting her. The victim fought back, pushing her attacker out of the elevator without any of her property removed. Toro took off to a stairwell and fled the location. Alright, so at least the good news is the woman was taken in for a medical evaluation and was listed in stable condition. So, it's actually some good news on Christmas. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, so I got two more I gotta read from the Queen's Courier, and then let me just see if I'm gonna organize some stuff here. I'm just gonna keep this up. Hang on, is this the one in Hollis? Oh, this is a different one in Queens. Wow, so this wasn't even on the Courier. Oh, it is in the Courier. It's just that they take you to their AM New York website. Like, what? Yeah, so I'm going to keep that on this page. Okay, so let me organize this. And now we are good. So I got 5 more articles I gotta read and then we'll wrap up this video. Another incident in Astoria. Police from the 114th Precinct in Astoria and Transit District 20 are looking for a man who attacked a subway rider before stealing his shoes earlier this month. The 18-year-old victim was on the northbound R train platform at the Steinway Street station just after 8 p.m. on December 11th when the suspect approached and began punching and kicking him before taking his box of shoes and fleeing. The victim refused medical attention at the scene. Okay, so we do have a surveillance video. We'll play it here. So the suspect was last seen with a light complexion, dark hair, and was wearing a blue jacket, beige pants, and dark sneakers. And in a way, you can technically thank Sarah Feinberg for this, because when she was president of New York City Transit, she was actually vocal about putting the surveillance cameras on in each subway station, so I guess she does deserve some credit. Alright, so we're going to move on now. Next story. Bigoted jerk utters anti-gay slur, smacks man in Midtown after seeing another man's photo on a phone. Here we go. Police say the trouble began at about 2 a.m. on November 15th, which was a Monday, at 2 a.m. The suspect asked 22-year-old male victim to use his cell phone at the stairwell at the 57th Street station on the D line below 7th Avenue. While using the victim's phone, law enforcement sources said the bigot came across a photo of the man with his boyfriend. Authorities said the suspect then uttered a homophobic slur at the victim, then smacked him across the face. The bigoted brute then tossed the victim's phone to the ground and fled in an unknown direction. The incident was reported to the Midtown North Precinct, which referred to the case to the Hate Crimes Task Force for further investigation. The victim suffered a swollen lip and bruising but refused medical attention. On December 24th, the NYPD released a photo of the hateful perpetrator who had facial hair and wore a black hooded sweatshirt. Queens man stabbed to death a block away from his home. So this is the last one I have. Queens man stabbed to death on Thursday night was fatally attacked just down the block from where he lived. Benjamin Vasquez Bullocks, age 29 of Jamaica, was attacked just before 11:10 p.m. on December 23rd at the corner of 89th Avenue and 150th Street, down the block from his residence on 88th Avenue. Officers from the 103rd Precinct found the wounded Bullocks who responded to a 911 call regarding a man shot at the location. Upon further investigation, however, EMS determined that Bullocks had been stabbed, not shot, multiple times in the back and torso. Paramedics rushed him to Jamaica Hospital, where he died a short time later. Early on in the investigation, police have yet to ascertain a possible motive for the deadly attack or description of the perpetrator. No arrests have been made in an ongoing investigation. So lastly, I just want to take a look at the Crime Stoppers. And let's take a look at their Twitter feed. See what we got here. Oh, look at this. Another incident in Queens. December 21st to 8:40 p.m. Vicinity of Carpenter Avenue and Jamaica Avenue. Two individuals stabbed 25-year-old victim during a robbery, causing his death. There's so much crime that NY1 could be covering, but, you know. And then look at this, a violent assault in Midtown. I mean, look at this. Well, before we have to transition on to important news, we have to move on, because guess what I found out this morning? Apparently, we do not know what's going on with the Windham Garden, because I was walking past there the other day, and I was wondering on Thursday, why wasn't there a sign? And I guess this answers my question. Signs for the Windham Garden Hotel and Fresh Meadows came down sometime in the last few months, but it will continue to serve as a transitional community for the formerly incarcerated throughout the end of this year. Oh, okay, so I thought it was going to be until 2022, so it sounds like it's up to Eric Adams now. I mean, this hotel better not be permanent. That's all I'm going to say regarding the Rikers inmates. So at least there's some decent news. Once it's the new year, you gotta go. That's the bottom line. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And then look at this. A family shelter is being planned on College Point Boulevard. This would be 90 units in Flushing. So let's see what this address is. Looking it up. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Not too far from where the Flushing Main Street station is. Just a short little walk. See? Yeah. Not too far, see? Pretty quick walk to me. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. So, whoever owns this, they claim that they want to operate this in 2024. Well, this better be stopped because the community doesn't really need this, all right? You have a Catholic school on 41st Avenue, and you have PS20 on Barclay. This community does not need a temporary housing shelter for the homeless. I'm sorry. Especially because I was in Flushing on Monday, and seeing all the homeless people hanging around Flushing was just disturbing as it is. So, alright, so there you have it. News that NY1 ignored again. And obviously, since Pine Power LI got his piece last night, I figured it would be my turn to do the same. So, enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Please stay safe out there. We only have about a week left of this year, and there's going to be a lot of hardship coming in 2022, and we just have to hope that we can make it through another tough year expected upon all of us. So, that's it. Thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas.